Welcome to the Coach's Breakdown. I'm Coach Mike, the kids coach here at Legion. Today I'm going to show you my 3 favorite shoulder locks, as well as a magic trick that's going to show how we can tighten up the rest of our shoulder locks. I'm going to use my buddy Isaac here. Can I have you down on the ground? Even though the shoulder is a ball and socket joint, right, lots of movement in here, if we can get it in the right position, we can tighten it up and get a tap very easily. So I have with me some magic string. When I was a kid, my dad was in the circus. He showed me this trick when I was 4 years old. If I take my magic string, I can elevate my partner's wrist without touching it, right? Isaac's job, he needs to try to keep his shoulder down, his elbow down, and his wrist down. I'm gonna take my string, tie it around nice and tight, get a strong grip, and Isaac, make sure you're keeping your wrist on the ground, okay? They're watching. As I pull, I can take his hand off the ground. Really keep it down, Isaac. The more I push down here, we can make his elbow come off the ground. So if we keep that in mind, there are a lot of funky shoulder locks I can do just by pressing down on somebody's shoulder here. Now let's get to my 3 favorite shoulder locks, including one you've never seen before. All right guys, now here's my 3 favorite shoulder locks. First one is from our T position. This is gonna be a downward shoulder lock that I showed in that little preview there. I'm in my T position. If his hand ever slides off here, I'm gonna trap it to the ground. My grip actually slides over, so I'm making this hook. Both grips hook over so I can lift, elbow down. I start walking my hip like I'm going to Keisagatami here, keeping both elbows on the ground. Now when I do that, I can put my rib down on his shoulder and finish our shoulder lock just like that magic trick here. I'm keeping this down, keeping this off the ground. So if we put pressure on the shoulder without this lifting, he has to tap here. One more time. In our T position, if the grip slips off, trap it. Both elbows down. So I lift, start turning to my other side, shoulder down. There shouldn't be any actual movement here when he taps. I'm not trying to like crank this up. I'm just dropping my ribs right on his shoulder here. Our second one, we're gonna have the backpack. This is gonna be an Americana shoulder lock. When I have the back here, I'm actually going to do this trap on his arm. Right now I have an overhook, underhook. I'm gonna use my leg to lift up his arm so I can scoop under, grabbing his lapel. Now I can actually take my underhook out and get 2 overhooks. Because I have this leg, it's good enough, right? It's as good as our underhook there. So we can get away with having double overhooks. Now I can start choking him here, grabbing the other side and encouraging him to reach up and defend. When he reaches this arm up to defend, I'm gonna slide the wrist back, trapping it here, and we get our tap. Now, if I wanted to be mean with it, I can actually move it, but as you can see, it's already in position for the tap. Again, I have my seat belt. I'm using my leg to lift up his arm so I can swim under and trap it with the lapel here. Take my arm out, replace it. There is a very credible choke here, right? Which is gonna make him reach up, and I'm scooping under. Now I'm finishing this just like I would finish a heel hook here in my wrist in the armpit, lifting up on the elbow. Now for my 3rd favorite shoulder lock, I'm gonna have my student show you. So this is our secret move. This is the one you've never seen before. We call this the hip Kimura. It's passed through a whole bunch of different names as we've gotten there. Right now, Isaac is gonna show us the hip hopoplata version of it. We're starting in the T position here. Now we are going to, much like a Tarika plata or Barada plata, we're gonna push the wrist off, trapping it with something. Rather than using our leg to trap it, we are going to backward shoulder roll over and trap it with our hip, catching our hip so we can do the I'm a little teapot here and finish the shoulder lock. Excellent, great job. Now we can also do that from side control. If we go in side control and grab the Kimura, perfect. I'm gonna rotate you guys a little bit. And so just regular belly down side control, and let's grab the Kimura over here. Perfect. We can slide our knee over and get into the exact same position, trapping that wrist with our hip. I'm a little teapot, finishing our shoulder lock. Now, this is the fun one. We call this one the Hakuna Matata, because once it's locked in, it means no worries. Let's see it. Turtle position, please, Isla. Isaac is going to attack with his Kimura from the top, but instead of flipping his partner over, we're going to spin around, grab our hip, sit deep through so we can start a backward shoulder roll, making our partner roll, backwards rolling, again into our I'm a little teapot. Boop, Excellent, Isaac. Thank you, Isla. Thank you, Elias. All right, guys, those are my 3 favorite shoulder locks. Hope you liked it. Give it a shot.